folks, it's TheWrongCat here from the Realm. My first cast in a little while. Certainly the first one on this new build, which was the pre-Christmas build, which Uber have released for us to enjoy over the holidays. We've got a 3v3 here, featuring Infinity Ghost, Scioto and Benj on the orange team, Baconific, Okeanos and Mott on the black team. Hopefully, we've got a nice big planet here. We'll get a chance for people to showcase some of the new stuff in this build. Let's have a little quick look at the spawn points. Obviously a very heavily naval planet, this one, with a few islands with very scarce metal now that I look at them. So this is going to be very much a naval fight here. However, orbiting this, we have a nice metal-rich moon. So I have a funny feeling this is going to be a race for orbital. And we'll see how people have started off. We've got an air factory going up here for black. The naval factory over here, already up. Nice and done. Orange, 1 naval, 2 naval, and a bot factory? Okay. Although I suppose, actually, we're going to get a little bit of bit of land combat here to start with, I think. So despite the fact that it's mainly a naval planet, despite the fact they are fighting over a pitiful amount of resources, there will be some land fighting, and we can see black have already scouted orange there. I'm not seeing much scouting yet by orange. In fact, I haven't seen any air factories from them at all, so black have certainly got the advantage of having these early air factories, which means you can get up some scout planes fairly quickly. In terms of expansion, of course, naval fabricators are quite heavy on the energy consumption, so you're going to see a slight shift from traditional build orders, I would hope, here, in that there's going to be a much heavier focus on energy production, because these consume 1900 energy for their metal output, whereas your traditional land fabricators will only require 1000. So you've got nearly double the energy requirement here for your basic fabricator. So far, it seems all players have risen to that challenge. They've probably realised exactly that, and they've increased their energy production accordingly. So now we get to watch and see who expands where. And we've got this lovely little strip in the middle of the lake here, or the lake is an ocean, the size it is on this planet, to be fair, which I would imagine is going to be expanded towards by this black army down here. That is probably the most concentrated area of metal on the planet. There's a nice little sheltered archipelago here, which orange will, in fact we can see them already expanding towards here with these 2 fabricators. And that's orange with an air factory now, and that's not a scout, that's a fighter plane. As I say, unfortunately, because of this high energy requirement, this is probably going to be a fairly slow start, because it's a simple matter of having to build up a larger sheer number of resources before you can really get going with army production. In terms of the land warfare, got a little bit of action going on here. We've got a missile turret shooting through a rock, which orange have built here. They should probably start capitalising on these mechs early on. It looks like black are going to have a significant advantage on this island. They've only got a little beachhead here, although they've got a nice bottleneck which they can perhaps hide behind. This commander has built a vehicle factory as well. I think perhaps they were looking for more efficient fabricators, which may well be why they've gone for these two factories. However, both sat idle at the moment. Not much being done here. They should really be expanding on these and building some more defences, because Black are aware that they're here and they've churned out some more factories accordingly. So got some narwhals coming out here for Black and blue bottles for orange. Now narwhals versus blue bottles will dominate in a straight up 1v1. However, of course, you've got the anti-air capacity of the narwhals, although the last time I recall seeing a game with narwhals used to any great extent, they were pretty pants against air, actually. Their attack radius was nowhere near wide enough, so it took for the aircraft to fly directly over the top of them before they even opened fire on them. So I'm hoping there's been some improvements in that since the last time this planet was played, and in fact I think there's a very real chance the planet generation code has changed since the last time this map was played on. I don't recall there being quite so much water on this, actually, so I think there's a possibility. Or I may just have a really bad memory, if I do have a bad memory, but... Anyway, back to the game. Black have already wiped out this little tower that was sat down here. They have got a significant army being built. That's probably would have been better built on that side, considering you are aware that Black have just crippled all of your stuff down here. You've gone for your T2 factory, which is all well and good, but are you going to now lose it? It looks like there's a fairly hefty force headed your way, Orange. Let's have a quick scout on the planet while they're on their way. See if there's any other action I'm missing out on. Orange seem to have taken the naval expansion far further than Black have. At least to my eyes. Right. Let's have a look what's going on down here. Oh, that's a commander going in as well. You'll want a bit more than that, I think. Got some defences here with this choke point, really. Have you got a radar up? No, you've got no idea what's coming for you, have you? Nope. They do know that they've got all these factories here. You can see this when you uncheck Black's POV, but they're not doing anything about it. And you'll be lucky he's going out the correct directions. He'll escape probably, but then here comes the pain. Got a blue bottle there and your two narwhals. Naval factory's going down. I think you're going to lose this entire beachhead, if I'm honest. That fabricator, although you've got him built, this entire thing is going to be swamped, I think. And that was a bit of a waste of resources. You'll be very lucky to escape this one with your lives, Orange. Oh, there we are. They're bringing some blue. Oh no, they're bringing some blue bottles into bear. They may be able to hold this yet. Yeah, they are quite aware of the full extent of what's headed their way now. Oh, really? Wall spam? Okay. That's the thing, I suppose. You should really pull him out a bit, or he's going to get shot at. That is cheap play, but effective play. However, it's not enough. You're going to lose your base. All gone. Fabricator, gone. That's a significant loss of metal there for Orange. They've invested a lot in getting up to T2, and that's been taken from them. Having a quick scan, T2 going up here, albeit slowly. Only the one fabricator working on it. I'm just holding down shift for a little while, see what we've got queued up here. All these mechs are being worked on. And don't forget, in this build we now have the area commands feature, which is why you're seeing things like this large blob of metal, not metal, energy plants, which whereas before, and in fact now, you should still be spreading out your energy as much as possible to avoid exposure to one significant attack. But since the build has been released, one thing I've been seeing is lots of these, where you can click and drag out a very small amount and you get a nice little block of 9. So you can spread out blocks of 9 power generators, which means you don't expose yourself too much. Oh, that's just... You can see that they've got 2 pelters sat just out of range. They can't quite kill the factories, but as soon as anything comes out, boop, gone. And you got complaints in the chat. The Navy's glitched, but that's Kyoto. He complains a lot, so don't take too much from that. You should pull those things back. They are fragile. Ships are still glass cannons. As long as you sit out of range, you're fine. They can just sit there and bombard things. They have got 0 armor to their name right now. Yeah, that base has completely been wiped out now. So Black own this, which I think is the largest landmass on the planet. That's obviously separated there pathfinding wise. But that said, although they own the land, it looks like Orange have got, at least in terms of area, a larger presence. And here we go, this is Orange's attempt at T2, slowly going down the drain. Again, probably a fairly significant metal investment gone there. Yeah, you see how easily narwhals get defeated by blue bottles. And Benj has been AFK for a little while, it seems. He's apologising to his teammates. Orange have got quite the advantage. Although they are a commander down, it looks like they have got quite a lot of naval units. But that said, Benj was on Team Orange, and Team Orange seemed to be doing rather well. Well, that's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. It's still got quite a way to go. It's anyone's game, of course, still. And what you mustn't do with your navy, of course, is to bunch them up. And yeah, torpedo launchers are still of use, as you just saw there. They've managed to fend off that rather large navy that Orange sent in there. Still lots of unclaimed resources here. I don't know why this is so idle. That should probably be heading over this way somewhere. Again, all of these just completely sat here. Although they've got them, they're probably on the queue, aren't they? There we go, yes. These are unqueued. Orange has got a massive metal advantage here. It's a shame that they lost that T2, because I really want to see some orbital in this game, because, as I've said, although this planet here is mainly naval, you've got this one here. Lovely, empty planet, look at that. Full of metal. Whoever gets that is going to have the game. He says with a wry grin. And that's news to me. I didn't realise pelters could be built on water. That's interesting development. I did not know that. Oh dear. That's an exposed commander. It's time to run away. It's funny that I would have sworn that Orange were doing quite well to begin with, although they've bottled it a little, I suppose. Let's see. Aha. There it is. That's the T2. They're going for T2 Air. Because, as I've said earlier, I think it's very much the case that narwhals are still a bit glitchy. So, your mobile anti-air facilities are near enough non-existent on this. It's pretty much reliant on static defences. So, if you can get a load of these bombers out, they can absolutely wreak havoc on your navy. So, I'm really waiting to see who's going for some orbital. I'd have thought we'd have seen someone at least going up for Tech 2 on orange again. But no, no one. Of course, they get these air fabricators out. Although they're horribly inefficient, they are mobile. And I'm presuming they're going to be using those to upgrade all of the metal extractors to T2. But do remember that at this stage in the game, naval is still what I would consider to be heavily underdeveloped. So what we're seeing here are fairly imbalanced units, sort of slugging off in blob wars, really. But here we go. This is going to be a significant economy hit against black. Lots of energy exposed here. Several metal extractors, and in fact you can take out some production while you're at it. This is just going to be a general blow for black. Come on, focus on that blue bottle. There we go. He's gone. You've got pretty much a free reign here to take out all of this economy. Can't even get out of the factory, look. It's gone. You've got to be attacking that guy. Again, because of how imbalanced Navy is, a single rogue unit like that not being targeted can... What on earth happened there? What killed all of these? Oh, bombers by the dozen. Right, and here you're seeing that air factory paying off. Actually, I'll see if I can go. I feel that's worth going back to. They're just being absolutely swarmed by the things. That's T2 carpet bombers doing that mainly. These things are brutal against ships. Today we've learned something. Or I've learned something. If you actually play this game to any reasonable degree, you probably already knew that. But I've learned something nonetheless. So, T2 naval. I wonder if Leviathans... I haven't seen in the patch notes of late any significant changes to Leviathans, which leads me to believe that they are still very much the... I've used the word glass cannons in this previously, but Leviathans are the epitome of that description, because really they have 0 health, but they have a fantastic range and absolutely superb firepower. And compared to these, they'll pretty much one-shot any of these, if I recall. But as soon as they get within range of them, they'll be screwed. Look at that! These are just absolutely demolishing these with no retaliation whatsoever. Just spamming those T2 bombers is paying dividends, significant dividends. And again, you see what I mean? Just anti-air. 3 anti-air ships versus 1 aircraft, gone. Just absolutely melting through them. I still haven't seen from Orange any Tech 2 stuff. You should have teched up by now. We are 20 minutes into the game. You have got half the planet under your control. Lots of metal, lots of energy. Where's your Tech 2? I appreciate they did have, back down here, wherever it's gone, over here, they had the little Tech 2 factory, Tech 2 fabricator, but they've lost that. They needed to have built another one. They needed to have recovered from that. Because as you've just seen, these T1 destroyers versus the T2 bombers, absolutely no contest. Torpedo launchers are laying waste to the vessels once they get within range, if they get within range, which is unlikely because, as you see, these things just come in there and ravage them. Now, I still haven't seen anyone pushing for that orbital launcher. I'm surprised at that because on a naval map like this, I would have thought that would be #1 priority because naval is so underdeveloped as yet. Nice big juicy moon. So here we go. You're wasting. Black, that's wasteful. You're not going to use it. What are you going to use those for? What possible use are they? There are no transports in this game yet. You should turn all, and these, turn all these off. They're costing you 15 a piece down here. That's nearly 100 metal being wasted here. And a couple of thousand energy. That could be used elsewhere for things which are actually going to be dealing damage to your opponents, not sat there idle. But with that said, of course, here comes a nice big bombing run on Orange's second to last remaining commander. The last being here. I think, actually, there's enough anti-air here to be dealing with these for now. But you see that ship, that anti-air ship, didn't even fire until the bloody thing was directly overhead. That means work. This poor commander, he's done alright for himself actually. I was expecting him to come off a bit more damage than that. Oh, here comes the next run. But now they've got some land or some static AA. Second run could finish him off if they all land their targets successfully. I don't think they all managed to land them, thankfully. Because he's moving too fast and the AA is dealing with a couple of them and other things getting in the way. But he's not long for this world, I don't think. Boom. Commander gone. One left for Orange. So don't forget, despite Black's waste, and this is, oh, they have turned them all off now. They've turned these off at least. They're still going. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect use of resources. But oh no, I said they turned them off. It was just obviously in between a batch. They still need to be turned off. I mean, Orange have got lots and lots of boats. And they have had lots and lots of boats all game. They've had plenty of area control as well. They've lost because they haven't gone up to Tech 2 yet. And there's plenty of discussion on the Uber forums and elsewhere that says that Tech 2 should not be, and in the final game probably will not be, more powerful than Tech 1. However, in the current build, it is absolutely essential that you tech up, because the units are simply more powerful at this stage. And Orange are still floundering away at Tech 1, and they have not gone up to Tech 2. And you've seen in the last 5-10 minutes those bombers absolutely destroying the Tech 1 ground opposition. And Black have got air superiority because they've got lots of air factories. They have a Tech 2 air factory. So I'd like to see, and they've got lots of air factories here pumping out these fighters. Again, they've probably seen the bombers and reacted to those and built those in reaction to the bomber spam. But it's a little bit too little too late, really. And I mean, if Black launched a nice big attack with boats around here, took out all this metal, that would be lovely. But I have to see how much they've scouted, of course. So this is what Black can see right now. They haven't scouted this lovely, rich metal field which Orange have claimed. So they're going for what they know, which is over here. We've got a nice little naval assault going in here, but you know, again, it's tit for tat, blob versus blob, and Black are sort of recouping here, I think. It's a bit of a labyrinth here, isn't it? Trying to navigate through these wreckage. I thought they were actual boats that I wasn't seeing as strategic icons, but no. I think it's safe to say at this point that Black, unless Orange can pull something out of their hat, preferably some sort of Tech 2, even an orbital launch, because a fresh start on this planet over here would really grant you the time that you need. But there's no fabricators being built. I can't see any fabricators being built, no expansion. They've expanded and they've got complacent. Ah, here it is. Bot factory. Not really what you want to be building on this map, unless you're doing it purely for the T2 fabricators. Which I'm hoping is exactly what they're doing. Which is going for the fabricators, then going straight for the orbital. But otherwise, this is inexcusable, really. If they're trying to build military units and get military dominance, a bot factory on this map, no. No. They are pouring their resources into these T2 bombers. You should really get a second factory going at this point, because you've got so many things assisting. It's inefficient because of the long roll-off times. So you spend, what's that, 8 seconds, if that, building one of these things. The roll-off time is another 4 or 5 seconds. You'd be better off building 2 of these factories and having half assisting each, and you get them a lot faster. So let's have a look at what Orange's view of the world is at the moment, because I haven't done that for a while. Again, they have got very good map control, resource control. These things are still expanding. All this metal is theirs. They've got the resources, but they're not applying them in the right places. This is a fairly standoffish match. Again, a lot of it is down to the current balance of naval. But with that in mind, perhaps they should be looking at other options. You've got a couple more bot fabricators here. You could be pumping out more bot fabricators from this factory, send them over here. Everything is resting on this, Orange. You don't have the T2 naval or the T2 air to be dealing with what Black have sent at you. You've got lots of fighters to deal with the bombers. I'll grant you that. But Black have got fighters too, along with the bombers they're about to send that do really nasty things to you. Really nasty things. And oh dear. Black are now seeing a lot of this stuff down here for the first time, and they're just casually dropping bombs as they go past. This wasn't even part of their attack plan. It's just because the bombs are flying overhead, they just drop the bombs as an auto attack. And that's all visible to black now. That wasn't before. That just happened to be the most direct path. But actually, these fighters, I mean, they're doing okay. They're killing off some bombers. But if black had scouted previously, they'd have known exactly where the commander was. All of those T2 bombers could have dropped their payload en masse at once, and that commander would have been finished. So that was poor scouting on black's part there. That could have been a game ender right there. Alright, orange. Ah! What are we doing? There it is, the orbital launcher. Good move. As I say, because they've not gone up to Tech 2 previously, although black has not got probably as much map control, they've got these things, which is a combination of T1 and T2 metal extractors built on top of one another. The metal extractor basic provides 7. The advanced metal extractor on the outside provides 28. So each of these points they control is providing 5 times the metal that any of the points orange are controlling is producing. So black are able to do stuff like this. And that's going to go up a lot faster than orange's one, because orange have not gone for the T2 economy. In fact, where's their orbital launcher even gone? There it is. And they've got all these on it, but they just don't have the economy to support a ion. GG. Excuse me. Did you just suicide on me, Orange? You have got to be kidding me. Oh well. As I say, the odds were heavily stacked in favour of black. If Orange had been able to escape that planet, there was a possibility they could have saved that, but I think it may have been a case of delaying the inevitable. And black actually didn't think that they were losing so badly after all that. You just saw Bacon say there, you were beating us. Oh, well, I'm going to go switch across to the other channel and see what they've all got to say for themselves. Maybe I'll get another cast out of it, but in the meantime, there's a nice little overview of the current state of naval. And, yeah. So that I'll see you soon, I'm sure. Anyone fancy some Stop the Cavalry?
What?
Stop the Cavalry?
The fuck is that?
What do you mean the fuck is that?
I'll be right back, I'll just get some water.
What's wrong with you? This is Stop the Cavalry. 1 second.
I've no idea what he's talking about. I think he's drunk.
Stop the Cavalry.
What is it?
Someone inform him, please.
I was waiting on you to inform him. I thought you were going to start playing the music.
That one.
What?
I mean, are you not? You're making us Scottish folk look like uncultured pigs.
Well, you don't need me to do that.
If you play it fully, I'll probably recognise it.
Of course, I can't really remember much of the words.